Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be going over the useContext hook. This is basically going to be a part 2 from my last context video in which we implemented it into class components, but this time I'm going to show you how to do it in functional components. So far we've just got a boilerplate React application. First thing we're going to want to do, it's not really related to the useContext hook, we're going to npm I React router DOM, and this is just going to be it's going to allow us to demonstrate the global context that we're going to be using as it's essentially a global state variable that we're going to be able to use through our whole application, and we'll see how that's done in just a sec here. Alright, so after we've installed React Router, we're just going to want to import it, so we're going to import and we're going to destructure browser router route and the link, and it's going to be from React router DOM. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new file in this folder called useContext. And inside of that, what we're going to want to do is we're going to just import and we're going to destructure create context from React. And then we're going to export a constant useContext equals create context. And we're going to set that to null at first. And then basically we're going to import this into our app.js here. So import user context. Oh, I capitalized that, not camel case. Alright, import user context from user context. And then what we're going to want to do is create a new folder, and we're going to want to call that pages or components, whatever you want to call it. We're going to call it components, why not? Oop, it's supposed to be a folder, not a file. Alright, we're going to delete that. We're going to create a folder called components. Inside of components, we're going to do index.js. We're going to do about.js, and we're going to do login.js. And then inside of each one of these, what we're going to want to do, here we go, index first. We're going to import React act from React. We're going to import user context from, and we're going to go outside of the folder with 2 dots, and then we're going to do user context, and we're going to just copy this into, actually we can wait for that. So we're going to export a function called index, and then we're going to return a div here, home, and we're going to just have that for now. We're going to copy this into all of our other 3. So here and here, and here we're going to do about. I'm going to change this to about. I'm going to change this to a login. I'm going to change this to login. We're going to save all of those. And then inside of our app.js, we're going to set up, or we're first going to import them. So we're going to import index from pages. We're going to import about from pages about. We're going to import login from pages login. Oh wait, this is called components. Alright, components, login, and about, and all that. I'm going to import components. There we go. So we got our components now. And now we're just going to basically set this up so that we have the router. So we're going to actually just delete this. We're going to do browser router. We're going to make that the parent element of all of these. Inside of that, we're going to do a div. Inside of this, we're going to do a nav. Inside of this, we're going to do a UL. Inside of this, we're going to do an LI. And then we're going to, inside of each LI, we're going to do a link to, and then each route. So we're going to do, this one we're going to do home. And let's just copy these down. And this one's going to be to about. And this one's going to be to login. I'm going to do about. Login. And then we're going to be done with that. And then outside of the nav here, we're going to do user context.provider. And then we're going to do, we're actually not going to set a value to that yet. We're going to do route path equals slash. We're going to do exact because that's the home route, and this would inherit all the other routes if we don't specify that here. And then we're going to do component equals index, and then we can actually slash that off like that. Route path equals about, same thing here, slash that off. We gotta do the component though. Component equals about, and the same thing for the last one. Route path equals login, component login. So once we've got that done, we're just gonna make sure that this works real quick. So we're gonna yarn start that, and we're gonna see what we're looking at so far. Alright, so once you've got that set up, you can click through these and see that we got all the components working. The route is all set up. So what we're gonna do here is basically set it up so that we have our global state. So what we're gonna do in the app file, we're gonna do const. We're gonna do user set user. We're going to set that to react.useState. We're going to set it to null at first, and then what we're basically going to be doing is creating a current user as well. So we're going to do const current user, and with that we're going to be using React memo, which we went over in the last video. So React use memo, we're going to set this to an arrow function, and we're going to set it to user set user in a destructured way to get it from our state here. And after this, after the second slash, we're going to do the dependency array. So we're going to do user set user. And then once we have that, what we can do is we can pass this into our user context provider. So we're going to do that by doing value equals current user. Okay, and inside of each individual component now, what we're going to be doing is adding a second thing here. So we're going to do a div, and we're going to call it user, and we obviously have to declare this. So we're going to do const, and we're going to destructure the user parameter from React use context, and we're going to do user context, and we're getting that from this import here, which connects to this, and then basically we're going to be able to see the user on each of these. So we're going to actually copy this into our about and our login. Whoops, I added a slash. We're going to add the div with the user. Same thing over here. And then inside of login, what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be destructuring both. So we're going to do const user, user set user. We're going to do react use context user context here, and inside of this as well we're going to create the function to change that. So const handle submit equals, and this is just for the same with any form that we've gone over, so prevent default here, and then set user target username value. Okay, and then inside of this we're going to need the form, so we're going to have a div first of all with the user, and then we're going to have the ability to change that on this page, and we're going to see that displayed on all of our components. So we have a form on submit equals handle submit, and then we're going to have an input in there, type of text, and we're going to have a name of username, ID username, slash that off, we're going to have a button, login. And then what we're going to basically be doing after that is going back into our browser, and we can click through these components and see that there is no user displayed yet. So in a case like, in a real use case, you would have like a nav, or not a nav, a header that would say, you know, login / sign up and stuff. But for our purposes, we're just going to have this simple little crude login here. So if we set this to user 1 here, we press login, we can see user 1 is now displayed on all of our components. And that's basically how you set a global state within an on change in just like one component to then be displayed on all the other components. So if you enjoyed this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.